Hey everyone, how are you all doing today? So we got some exciting news today, or a couple of days ago by the time this video is released, regarding the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and it's all coming from Ewan McGregor himself. In an interview with Ace Universe, Ewan McGregor went to talk a little bit about the Kenobi series that's going to be happening, and the technology that they're going to use to make and create it. He goes on to say, "I think I'm going to enjoy it much more," he admitted. "The prequel's all blue screen and green screen, and it was hard to imagine. But nowadays I think things have moved on so much, and I think a lot of what you see is going to be what we see on the set. I don't know if you've seen the behind the scenes of the Mandalorian series," he says, "but they employ that incredible screen. It's pretty amazing. It makes you feel like you're in the place. It's going to feel realer for us as actors, and I think we'll be using some of that technology on our show."
The untitled Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And it's really just such an amazing thing that folks remember. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, as well as Episode 2 and 3 came out. It was really at the forefront of some really cool cinematic advancements. And now, over 2 decades later, you're about to, after you finish greening your thumbs and tinkering with your bike, go back into this massive project, which is a new chapter in Obi-Wan Kenobi's journey. Do you feel like there were any really cool lessons that you're going to bring with you into this new series? And I would be remiss not to ask, but no, you may not answer. Is there anything you can tell us about this new journey in Obi-Wan Kenobi's journey?
No, there's nothing I could tell you, really. That would be the first bit.
Just for the record, I asked.
I know you had to. I don't think. I was. I'm trying to remember how old I was when we started the first one, but I was. It was the mid to late 90s, I think, and when we shot Episode 1, I'm just going to enjoy it all much more. I think our technology is such now that we were. I think we shot the first one on film, and we shot the second one when we got to Australia on the new HD cameras, which were sort of pretty primitive compared to what they are now. And so it was quite technically, it was quite complicated, I remember. And it was just all blue screen and green screen. And so it was hard to imagine it, But nowadays, I think things have moved on so much, and I think a lot of what you see is going to be what we see on the set. I don't know if you've seen any of the Mandalorian, the behind the scenes of the Mandalorian series, but they employ that incredible screen, and I don't even begin to know how it works, but it's pretty amazing, And so when you're on set, if you're in a snowscape or something, well, when you look around, you see that and it makes you feel like you're in the place. I think it's going to be more. It's going to feel realer for us, for the actors, and I think we'll be using some of that technology on our show, which I don't know exactly, as you say, untitled as yet. But there's some great fan ideas for it. I don't know if you've seen some of the fan art, but there's an amazing poster where they've named it "Hello There." That's the name of the movie, "Hello There," the Obi-Wan Kenobi story or whatever. But it's that would be fun. That would get my vote. Hello there.
I mean, it's kind of appropriate.
Yeah. It would be good. But we'll see. I don't know yet what it's going to be called, and I don't know. I do know sort of what it's going to be about, but I'm not going to tell you. I think it's probably true to say I'm more excited about playing Obi-Wan again now than I was even the first time, because it's just because you live and learn, and the more I realize what I'm part of, in a way. I think at the time when you're young and I just sort of treated it like, yeah, it's just another movie like all the other ones I'm making. But now, with a bit of looking back on it, you can see what you're involved in something quite huge, in the Star Wars the Star Wars, I don't like the word franchise, but the Star Wars sort of fable or legend or whatever you might call it. And so this time to go back and to play, to bridge that gap even more so between what I was trying to do in the first three films, playing a young version of Alec Guinness. Well, now I'm closer in age to Alec Guinness when he did the first one. I mean, still not really nearly as old as he is, but was.
Of course
But
not. No.
no. But I'm closer, and so I think it'll be really interesting now to do that, to go through that experience again, and to start watching Alec Guinness's. I spent a lot of time watching his early work because I was playing him as a 20-year-old guy. So I watched as many films as I could see of Alec Guinness when he was in his 20s, and now I'll have to watch Alec Guinness's work when he's in his 40s, 50s, and that I'm really looking forward to, and to try and find our Obi-Wan Kenobi now to sort of bridge that gap between what I did before and where Alec started the whole thing off in the 70s.
Now, if you don't know, The Mandalorian is using this new technology where they basically get rid of green screens and they just implement LED screens, which just literally wrap around the entire set. A massive structure where you can change the scenery in real time and literally do anything you want with CGI. Now, while the Kenobi series was originally set to be a movie, I think now we get to show it's going to be much more interesting because we're literally getting, I think, 4 to 6 episodes or so. At least that's what the rumor is. So that's almost like a 6-hour show if they're going to be 40 minutes to an hour long. Now it's set to take place 8 years after Revenge of the Sith, and it will be directed by Deborah Chow, who did a lot of the episodes on The Mandalorian. So I'm really excited about this. Not only will it be better for the actors to have this kind of technology, which George Lucas of course wanted to have years and decades ago, but the technology wasn't there, which was why he started with episode 4 instead of going to the Clone Wars, the prequels, because the CGI just wasn't there at the time. That, and of course he wanted to start the story in the middle. He doesn't like starting stories in the beginning. He likes to start it off with action. Just throw you right in the mix kind of thing, which I think is the most engaging form of storytelling. I'm super excited for the Kenobi series, and I hope it will be out by the end of 2021. And I especially hope that we'll see Qui-Gon Jinn maybe as a Force Ghost, or at least hear his voice speaking to Kenobi. The show will open up so many different things for the Star Wars universe, taking place after Order 66, really 8 years after, and this will also be the first time we see Kenobi in this light, so soon after Anakin's turn to the dark side. We could see parts of the Empire, and of course maybe Hayden Christensen returning as Anakin Skywalker or Darth Vader, or maybe even in some flashback scenes. I'm also really hoping that we get to see a bit of Yoda on Dagobah during his exile time, with hopefully some scenes of Ahsoka Tano and Commander Rex. Let me know what all you guys think about this. Hope you enjoyed this update, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you, always.